I am a narcissist's worst nightmare. At this point, they don't want to fuck with me.
A lot of us have never truly had a loving relationship. A lot of us has been programmed to have codependent enmeshed relationships. And that started with childhood. Because really think about this, okay? The matrix family dynamic does not thrive on love. It thrives on fear. It thrives on dominance, power, control, you know, disloyalty, manipulation, triangulations, discord, chaos, right? So that means the environment for the matrix family dynamic is already disturbed from the very beginning. Nobody in your family is them true selves. None of them have any form of self-love for themselves. It's survival of the fittest. It's how can I use you to get to where I need to get? How could I manipulate you to get you to do what I want you to do? Right? That's the mentality. So that means it was a very traumatizing environment, a very abusive, physically, mentally, verbally, spiritually type of environment that ate away at the self-love within you, okay, and the children, generation after generation, which means instead of the child being raised in an environment where they can be themselves holistically, authentically, they became another version of themselves. And that's when the ego was birthed. So the ego is birthed in the child when the child wants to develop a new version of themselves in order to survive in the very toxic and traumatized environment. So if everybody is walking around as adults as their unhealed, traumatized child self, operated by the ego, the false sense of self of who they created themselves to be, then there's no way that anybody is truly having authentic relationships stemming from self-love and unconditional love, because the love that the family gave you was distorted and programming. It was a part of the matrix family dynamic programming to traumatize and abuse you as a child, which ultimately creates a very codependent personality. And it teaches you that enmeshments are the blueprint for love. So then you find yourself going out into the world, establishing friendships, romantic relationships from a codependent lens and perspective and perception. And a lot of times we know that something is off with the relationships that we have, but we can't necessarily pinpoint exactly what it is. Like, it's toxic, but it's like you're addicted to the toxic relationships and behaviors. And that is because of what your matrix family programmed you to be in childhood. And now it's familiar to you. Now you're addicted to the toxic behavior, just like a drug addict would be addicted to a drug that they know they should get off of, but it gives them a high for a certain amount of time, and then they chasing that high. Codependency is like a drug that you want to get off of, but don't know how, because you thought that giving yourself away to people, you thought that people pleasing was love. You thought that not having equal give and take relationships was normal. You didn't think that that was normal because your childhood, you've been depleted. Your childhood, you've been energy siphoned. You've been gaslit. You've been made to believe that being empathetic and showing feelings was weak, and your own family was the ones that first became your bullies. Your family was the ones that first made you feel like it was not safe for you to be yourself. It's the families that creates the narcissist. It's the matrix family dynamic that creates a breeding ground in a environment for the narcissist to thrive, because ultimately narcissists are wounded children as well that were severely neglected emotionally, abused physically, spiritually as well. Never made to take accountability for their behaviors, or just overly praised. There's a lot of toxicity that goes into developing a narcissistic child. But the point is, it's the family dynamic that breeds the codependent and enmeshed child to never learn how to truly love unconditionally. That's the goal, because the matrix has to thrive on fear. The matrix has to make sure that people are codependent on each other, on social media, on their job, just codependent in every way, shape, and form, so that they're always constantly chasing that codependent high that they're never going to be satisfied from, because it's something that they're lacking within themselves. They're looking for themselves in everybody else, in everything else. Your matrix family will never tell you to go within, search your soul, question things. I tell my children all the time, question everybody, including me. Only an honest person will want you to do something like that. Only a person who mean you well will want you to question things and trust your judgment. Only people who mean you well will set you up for success and create an environment for you to be exactly who you are, and make themselves available for guidance, for questioning, create a space for you to feel safe on all spiritual planes and in the physical. But see, a toxic person will never tell you to go within yourself and find out who you truly are, because that part is disrupted from the very beginning in the matrix family dynamic. They don't want you to be who you truly are. They want to siphon your energy. They want you to be operating from a place of self-hate. They don't want you to ever discover who you truly are and your gifts. And they know you be having a magic touch. They know that you mean people well. They know all of these things, but they want to destiny swap and keep you from ever obtaining and fulfilling your destiny, because you're authentic. You were always true to who you are. You're a natural born leader. They never wanted to celebrate you. And these are the type of environments that create a codependency, because now you're thinking that you got to search for validation outside of yourself. You are a leader. You are love. You are authentic. You always had the magic touch. And they hate that. And they hate that about you. But keep being you. Keep being you and being honest with yourself. Keep going within. Keep choosing you, no matter what. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about this video. Like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Remember, everything is linked down below. My ebook, the Patreon, everything. Ashe.